Alongside the dockyards of the Port of Manila, a sprawling city of slums feeds on the proceeds of trash. For decades, a massive dump site stood here, an ever-expanding mound of smouldering rubbish. Smokey Mountain, as it's named, represented the worst of Manila's garbage problem. With no effective system for managing its waste, the Philippine capital was overwhelmed with a tidal wave of refuse, as much as 6,700 tonnes a day. Only a little more than 10% of it was recycled or composted. The rest was either hauled to dump sites, dumped illegally on private land, in rivers, creeks and Manila Bay, or openly burned. Despite the noxious environment, Smokey Mountain became home to some 30,000 people, mostly impoverished villagers from the countryside. Leticia Reyes came to Smokey Mountain when she was 14 years old. Instead of going to school, she spent her days scouring the landfill for food.
When I got to Smokey Mountain, there were a lot of worms, and once you entered, it was all muddy up to your knees. There was so much trash and so many flies. And even though we were poor, we had not grown up in that kind of environment.
Today, what remains of Smokey Mountain is a shrub-coated tiered cake of compost. Most of the dump site was cleared to make way for permanent housing. The scenes of urban squalor and misery have become a thing of the past.
Many have better lives now, but they do not leave because this is where they started. This is where they experienced hardship, and this is where their lives improved. Their heart is still here.
Although conditions have improved, thousands of families still struggle to make a living here. To provide livelihood opportunities for some of these families and also improve environmental conditions in Smokey Mountain, the Asian Development Bank, through its Poverty and Environment Fund, or PEF, supported a local cooperative that brought residents together to generate more profitable and healthier livelihoods. The cooperative had a rocky start. It was born in the early 90s as a charity organisation under the management of the parish church, but it was soon losing money. In 2003, the co-op sought help from an NGO, Sustainable Project Management, which then turned to PEF. SPM was awarded a grant to implement the Smokey Mountain Remediation and Development Programme, which encouraged the cooperative to focus more on profits and enterprise. It put into motion a combined approach of public-private partnerships and community empowerment, including training in management and financial skills. The project also set out to pilot a safer and more lucrative alternative to the junk shops still prevalent around the port area. Recycling was an obvious choice for the cooperative's first endeavour, as it was the business that residents knew best. With assistance from the PEF project from 2005 to 2007, the cooperative built a materials recovery facility, which now provides full-time work for 20 employees. One of these is Absalon Toto Rivas, who started scavenging at Smokey Mountain when he was 9. In 2009, he became a member of the co-op, which now offers him steady work.
I am a team leader of the sorters. All the sorted trash is weighed and then eventually we share the amount. When there is a lot of trash coming in, we can earn up to $105 every 2 weeks.
It's a modest wage that goes a long way to sending his 5 children to school.
This is my source of income now because it is hard to find work elsewhere. I am content, as long as this cooperative does not disappear.
With continued modest support from Sustainable Project Management, the cooperative has gone on to become a successful manager of many micro-enterprises in the community, including a laundromat, masonry services and handicrafts. The handicrafts enterprise has grown increasingly profitable, providing full-time jobs to 5 women and part-time work to 23 others. For Encarnacion Martinez, a widowed mother of 4, it's a chance for a new start.
This helped me because after my husband died, I was able to send my children to school. Even though I was only earning very little, I was very happy to be of help to my family.
For the materials recovery facility, the co-op is now exploring ways to move up the value chain and buy and sell trash that has already been separated. The co-op has also helped surrounding communities better manage their waste streams.
A lot of members now do not have a hard time in life because of the help they get from the cooperative. You not only get what you need, but you also contribute back to the cooperative so that it will prosper.
The co-op collected revenues of more than $58,000 in 2012. It has 150 full members, with another 100 people on their way. Full members receive dividends and are eligible to apply for small loans. Operating costs are low, mostly for salaries, as befits an enterprise established to provide jobs. Leticia Reyes is now the co-op's accountant, but it's been a long and tragic journey from the trash heaps to the ledger book. By the time she was 24, she'd been widowed twice and had already buried 2 of her then 4 children. It was then that things took a turn for the better. Her third husband encouraged her to finish high school and then take vocational courses in bookkeeping. Her studies earned her an internship at the co-op, which eventually became a full-time job. The opportunities given by the co-op have provided her with a strong sense of purpose and belonging. As for many others who stay here, it's still a place of promise for her and her family.
For me, I don't really want for us to just leave this place. All I want is for them to have a decent livelihood. I am proud that I live here in Smokey Mountain.